Well, welcome back to another edition of The Morning View.
I'm hearing a lot of people dissecting our next 5 games, you know. They're talking Wolves, West Ham, Everton, Palace, Bournemouth. And they're saying, apart from Palace, should all be W's. Counting points we haven't got yet. Saying we've got a favourable run. Is this the problem with us? Is this the problem with us? There's people talking about 10 games unbeaten. Do we need to chill? Do we need to just calm down and take it game by game? Or should we be looking at it going, well, I feel positive. I feel confident. Apart from Palace, I think we will win all those other games. And that's going to put us in a great position for Champions League or Europe or whatever. But we keep doing it to ourselves, guys. My advice is this. Don't count points we ain't got yet. Like my parents used to tell me when it comes to credit cards and them things there. Don't spend money you ain't got. It's that simple. Game by game. Game by game. Let me know in the chat what you guys are saying. Let me know in the comments what you guys are saying. Welcome to United View. Welcome back to the Morning View. We've got a lot to talk about. Kobbie Mainoo as well. He's on the radar of Napoli as we head towards January. And of course, like I said, a lot of people are talking about this situation about, you know, easy fixtures. Oh, that's easy. You know, Sky Sports even worked it out. You got the easiest fixtures in the next 5 games on paper. And we're going to be talking about Elliot Anderson's real price as well. Not the fake one, the real one. So, yeah, smash a like on the video and subscribe to United View if you are new. Owen, what you saying, brother?
Yes. Good morning, folks. Good morning. Welcome back to the Morning View. Be sure to smash a like on the like button.
Oh, there you are. You froze a little bit, but you're back. You're back.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. I'm ready. You know, I was just getting ready for, you know, my segue. And you said, like, you know, it's difficult, isn't it? You know, difficult. Game by game, one foot in front of the other, step by step. It's not easy. But what if we could make it a little bit easier for you? What I'm talking about is your health goals. Yeah? Optimum. Press the button again, Owen.
Today's video is sponsored by our friends at Oxford Natural and their all-new natural supplement, Optimum Day and Night. Thousands across the UK, USA and beyond are smashing their health goals with Oxford Natural. Optimum Day gives you steady energy, curbs your cravings and keeps your metabolism firing all day. Optimum Night helps you relax, get restorative sleep, recover and keep burning fat while you rest. It's not a magic pill, but it will help you reach your health goals. Check out some of the incredible results. 2 of our own. Owen lost over 100 pounds in 10 months. And KG dropped 30 pounds in 4 months. In 8 months, football legend Michael Owen lost 35 pounds. And Robbie from AFTV, Don Robbie, lost over 80 pounds. And in 6 months, Anita, an award-winning immigration lawyer, lost 44 pounds. And Linda, a law firm executive, lost over 50 pounds. No gimmicks, no needles, just results. Oxford Natural, let's get to work.
Yes, indeed. Let's get to work. You can scan the QR code right in a second. It was back. It was there.
Got Jamaica. I'll pick up tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, but you can scan the QR code when it appears there. You can subscribe. You can save up to 70% off. Use the code UV. You can get your Optimum Day, which is good for your weight loss goals. You can get your Optimum Night, which is good for your restorative sleep. It's a brand new and improved formula. All of the information, as per usual, is in the video description below. It's pinned in the chat, and you can get Optimized today. Like I say, Flex, a lot of people get to this point of the year and they go, look, next year I'm going to do the health thing. Next year I'm going to do my fitness goals, you know, getting into the holiday season soon. And it's like, wow, you get to that stage where, I don't know about you, Flex, once it gets to the festive period, sort of sweets and chocolate, they just appear in the house. You don't even remember buying them. They just appear on the side. You go,
and they stay for long after as well. Like there's loads of it, and then like Christmas Day or whatever, you go, everyone tuck into these and that, but it doesn't. Like it still never finishes, and then it gets like February, and there's still like Ferrero Rochers about the place. Like
it's just on the side. You go, I don't know where this came from, you know, but I'll focus on it next year. Now is the time to start. If you start now, you get a bit of a head start on your fitness goals for next year. And this is what I always think of it as, Flex. This is like the hibernation time. This is when people aren't looking. I think people aren't paying attention to your weight loss goals or your health goals. And then once it gets to next year in the spring and the summertime comes, and you've put the work in, people go, I tell you what, you lost a bit of weight. Have you been working out? You go,
yeah.
Throughout the winter, mate. Throughout the winter, when no one was watching, I was putting the work in, So you can find out all the information as per usual in the video description below. Flex, we're going to win the league because we've got the easiest fixtures. That's what the narrative is.
We're in
going out there right now. Yes, yes.
That's what I mean.
It's funny. This is funny because about a couple of months ago, we had the hardest fixtures to start the season, didn't we? And I guess if you have the hardest fixtures to start the season, by proxy, if you get through all of those difficult games, then you're going to have a run of easy games. And that is what the suggestion is here. Sky Sports put this out yesterday saying, who has the toughest next 5 opponents? Now, this is based on the league positions of the next 5 opponents, ranked by the overall average league position of the opponents. Now, it must be stressed here. The table is very tight right now. The table is very tight right now. So league position might not be totally a great example. But if you look, Manchester United have got to play the teams that are currently in 13th, 10th, 18th, 20th, and 9th. You've got 2 of the bottom 3 that we're going to be playing in our next 5 games. When you just look at those numbers there, you'd go, great. That's fantastic. I guess it's going to be, like you said, 5 W's, no problems at all. But then when you hear the names add a little bit of extra context to said fixtures, don't they? Everton at home, Monday Night Football straight after the international break. Not easy. Crystal Palace away. A lot of people are sort of going, that could be the one where, that
could lose
where we're going to drop some points. Then West Ham at home. Gotta be winning that one, surely. West Ham, poor team, very, very poor team. Even under Nuno, they're still not great, but under Nuno, they have picked up some results that maybe they wouldn't have previously. Next up, after that, Wolves away. Look, they've been really, really poor this season. They're not a great team at all, but they weren't
in
an
3
amazing
games time. Will Rob Edwards have them moving mad?
Well, maybe, and look, they weren't a great team last season. Remember when we went in and played them at Molineux last season? It was just when their new manager had come in, wasn't it? And they were shocking. They were like bottom of the league around that period of time. They were rubbish, and we still lost.
We were shocking. Cunha scored from a bloody corner.
Yeah, did that one. And then after that, we've got Bournemouth at home, which Bournemouth are doing very well this season. And even if they weren't, our record against Bournemouth, particularly at home, actually, in recent years is
awful.
We've had a couple of 3-0s, haven't we? And was it last year where it could have been like 4 or 5? So, Look, it's difficult, isn't it? It's difficult. Like you said, I think in the intro, it's one game at a time. As I think is a great example so far this season. Is look how much has changed for us just going week to week. We were kind of chatting about it before we went live, going start the season, loss against Arsenal, but parts of the performance were right. So you go, well, they're Arsenal, a good team, some positives. Then you play Fulham, play well for a little bit actually, and you go
half an hour, play well for half an hour. Should
have won it with the Bruno pen, but that's 2 games you haven't won in a row. Yeah, next game Grimsby, then it's meltdown. You beat Burnley 3-2, which was we 2-0 up in that game. Got back to 2-2, I think it was. Edgy.
Yeah.
Was it? Did we go 2-0 up?
We went 2-0 up, yeah.
Yeah, edgy. And
actually, no, we went 1-0 up, then it went to 1-1, then we scored straight away, 2-1. Then we conceded another stupid goal. Gotcha. And then we got the penalty in the last minute.
And then when we late on, and then right out of the international break, get pumped 3-0 by Man City. So and then sort of post that, then we start to get some results together. Obviously we beat.
Well, not yet. We beat Chelsea, and then we got smashed off
Brentford, and then after that,
that's after Brentford.
The run.
That's when Sunderland begins.
2-0 Sunderland,
2-1
Liverpool. Yeah, and all that. So, and that just goes to show how you have to go game to game and all of that, because when you look at those results that we have had this season, it's very difficult then to go, right, next batch of 5 games, we're gonna win them all. And also it's one of those ones, Flex, isn't it, when it's like temper expectations. If we go into this group, this batch of games, I think as fans, gonna win most of them, and inevitably we will drop points because it's football and we're not amazing still, but we will drop points. because in our minds we've said we're going to win them all, we'll then have a meltdown going, what?
Yeah.
We
It should have been more than this.
We didn't win those games, whatever. So it is game by game, but you've got to take advantage. If we want to qualify for these European positions, Flex, we've got to be winning not all of these, but the majority, would you say? The majority of them?
Yeah, I think you need to be getting a record similar to the last 5 we just had, really. And you mentioned this yesterday.
Not going to lose again the whole season.
Well, no, we will.
Unbeaten, mate.
Obviously.
Just keep
but
that up.
The next
3 wins,
5,
2 draws.
if you want to keep it up, or 3 wins, a draw, and a loss, or something like that, like you have to be. It's simple maths, in it. Shout out Michael Owen. Like, you just have to win more than you don't. And I think if them home games, West Ham, Everton, Bournemouth, you have to take 9.
Care of the home games. Take care of the home.
That's
games.
just like, you know what I mean? Because that's what we did in this sort of run, innit? Well, actually, no, we beat Liverpool, to be fair. But the 2 tricky away games after Anfield was like, we could have won. Like, we've got to fix it, but we didn't lose. But I feel like at home, Brighton, Sunderland, like I think Everton's coming up now.
They're good results.
I feel more good results, and I do feel like they're good teams. Do you know what I mean? They're good teams. What we've seen this far, teams that go to other teams and win and put them under. So I don't mind. And Everton's going to be another one where they're not maybe in the ilk of Brighton, in the ilk of Sunderland this year, that's for sure. But they're a handy team. You know what I mean? Jack Grealish is playing well. You got Dye out there. The other side, they're okay midfield. It's Idris Gay and Jimmy. What's his name again? Who's played for us? Garner. Dewsbury Hall, maybe. Like, they're all right. They're all right. They're a decent little outfit. Obviously, up front, they struggle. Tieno, Barry, and Beto, and them guys ain't great. They lead a striker, but they're an okay team. You know what I mean?
Going away to their new stadium's difficult.
Yeah, exactly.
Recently, they'd lost at home.
Yeah, exactly. So, but them traveling, probably not the best. We should still be saying, if we could beat Brighton and be 3-0 up against Brighton, put it on them and really be on it. Yeah, Everton, we should be beating them. You were allowed to say that. Doesn't mean you definitely will, but you should be. So I just think take care of them home games. That's 9 points. And I think 2 of those away games, you have to win at least 1, because one of them is against Wolves. You have to. I'm sorry. I know they could be resurgent. 100%. You've got to be careful. It's not divine right. It might not be. You should be dusting them down 3-0 and leaving. I get that. It could be really tight, but you have to leave Molineux with 3 points. Because again, we are talking about improvements, aren't we? We're talking about kicking on. So we can't just keep saying it's okay to go to places that are bottom of the league, but a legit bottom of the league, not bottom of the league like how Forest are, where you go they're actually good. They just need to get the manager sorted and then they're going to be all right. Wolves will go down this season. I'm almost certain of it.
You reckon?
I think so. I mean, it was some turnaround. What they got? They're rock bottom with 2 points, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, and
they're already 8 points adrift, isn't it? Is it 8 points? Are they 8 points by? I think the next person's got 10.
Yeah, 8 points. 8 points off Burnley in
8 point swing, mate. Come on, man.
If they've brought,
and they're all just going to keep losing. Burnley going to keep losing. Leeds are going to keep losing. They got. Yeah.
I mean, Rob Edwards. I know his history is with Luton, which is a bit of a poison chalice in the Prem, but
and a little bit
as if. But you know what I mean? It's not as if he's got a lot of Premier League history. He's going to go and he'll turn around. Like when Sean Dyche goes into Nottingham Forest and you go,
exactly, there'll be an upturn.
They'll be
Rob Edwards ain't that. Really, you should have stayed at Middlesbrough, but he just wanted to try.
There was a discussion about what's the better job to actually be in the Prem next season. It might be Borough as opposed to Wolves. To be honest with you, you know what I mean.
Second in the champ, they're flying. So Wolves, Burnley, Leeds. If you're playing them home or away, I'm sorry. I know it's a bit different for us with Leeds because of the rivalry. So actually, that can be a really difficult game for us to win. Yeah. But I'm sorry, going away to Wolves, it ain't Nuno's Wolves. It ain't Vita Pereira's Wolves that we first got there, who turned out to be awful. Look at them now. They're struggling. So we need to be saying, out of those away games, yes, Crystal Palace is the one that we respect. Do you know what I mean? That is it. You know what can happen when you pull up there. Really good team. Good manager, organized team. You can get the work at Selhurst Park. You can. If anything, people will be like, would you take a draw now and then win all the rest or draw that? You go, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
After Flex said all of that, imagine if we lose. Q, how shit are you chance? Yeah, 100%. I get it. I'm not saying we can't lose. You can lose any game in the Prem, but
That's what I was going to say. That's the key thing, isn't it? Particularly the away from home, the best teams can lose to anyone in the Prem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Arsenal are top of the league.
Or draw.
They could go away to they could go away from home and play Wolves. They probably would beat them, but you never know. You can't be totally shocked. But away from home in the Premier League, it's a different beast. It's a different animal. The important thing for me is that we take care of, like you said, those home fixtures, and then you pick up those away victories when you can. I mean, that's what actually, when you do look at the last sort of 5 games, what does make it a bit more impressive, I suppose, is that we've only had 2 home games in there. The rest, obviously, your Liverpool away, Forest away, Spurs away. And if you'd have said going into a batch of games where 3 out of your 5 are going to be away from home, you'd be like, I don't know, our away record, it's not great. You know what I mean? And particularly with how fragile our team is, with away fans, we can't really control games. And it's even more difficult to control games away from home because once the crowd's up, you see teams capitulate, we capitulate. So the fact that we haven't, lost those away games, I think is a real positive as well. And then also last season, we could barely win at home too. So that's when you get into the improvement. So it's one of those ones, isn't it, where, yes, on paper, we've got, favourable fixtures coming up. I think it's just one of those ones where you just have to take advantage of it, because obviously everyone's got to play everyone at some point. But when you do have a run of fixtures like this, you do have the opportunity to build up momentum. And as we've seen, momentum's a massive thing. If a team can go on a run in the Premier League, you can go on a run just for a select portion of the season. That can kind of sort you out for near enough the rest of the season. You can trade on that till the end of it. You know what I mean? If you go on a run, let's say hypothetically, I don't think this will happen, but let's say hypothetically, we won all 5 of these games in a row. You'd be like, oh my God, right? You could then have really spotty form for like the next 2 or 3 months, and you'd still be in a good area. You'd still be in a good position. So I think it's also about taking advantage of these runs when you can, but also like the learning point that I've kind of realized throughout the season so far until now is not too high, not too low, which is, yes, there's maybe a bit of an increased expectation going into this run of games because on paper they do look favorable, but there will be slip-ups in there. There'll be games where we go into it thinking we're going to get, maximum points and we don't. And when that happens, because it will, it's not the end of the world. You know what I mean? As long as...
And there'll be games where we win where we might have thought, Palace, tell you what, don't know, win 2-0.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It might be the other way around.
Absolutely spot on. There might be a situation when we play Palace and we win there, like 2-0 or 2-1. You could play.
So we play West Ham at home, we get a draw,
and then we go and play Wolves and we do lose. We're like, what's going on there? Because we're not that consistent team. Like it's not beyond us at all to go to Molineux and lose. It's not. No, it's not beyond us at all.
That's why we shouldn't. Yet. We're not.
We shouldn't, and I think in that run of 5 games, I think it's going to be we're going to come out of it being like, did enough in that, got points on the board.
I think we'll win all the home games. Do you?
What's all the home games again?
West Ham, Bournemouth, and Everton.
The Bournemouth one might be difficult. The Bournemouth one, that might be difficult. Depends what Bournemouth we play. Because look, Bournemouth.
But don't you think it also depends on how many points we got going into that? Like, cause say if we go into that game and we've beaten West Ham, we beat Wolves, we beat Everton, you drew against Palace, and you're like, right, this is the last one of this little 5. Like you said, it shouldn't really be 5 because it continues. But the feeling could be really good going into that game. But like you say, if we fucked it up, excuse my French just early, against like Wolves and West Ham, and it's a bit flat, then you're right. It could be a different. You just don't know, dude. It's so hard to.
Depends. Like because so we might be in a good moment, and by that point, let's say Bournemouth, because it wouldn't be beyond them to be like they go 5 games without a win. You go, Bournemouth, they're really struggling now. They had a good start, but they really started to struggle. That's why.
Where are they now? Like you said, they swapped their ninth. They dropped off a little bit. Last 2 games, but losses.
You say that they're ninth, they dropped off. Still 2 points off 3rd.
Yeah. Who's their next game? Next game, West Ham at home. They're going to win. Then they got Sunderland away.
Exactly.
Then they got Everton, then they got Chelsea. Then they got Man United. They got a tough run.
And what's funny when you look at the table as well. So that 3rd place, that Chelsea team, that it feels like every other week you go, are they good or are they not good? Like,
it's so weird, isn't it? They get cussed one week saying they're terrible.
They're third. Well, with the teams we beat at home in this run of games, Sunderland and Brighton, they both beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, right?
Yeah,
So
mad.
that just shows how
It's so mad.
weird this sort of Premier League season is so far. So you almost want to play down expectations a little bit, because when you see easiest next 5 fixtures, it feels like that's just setting up a bit of a media narrative to kind of crucify.
Of course it is. They should have got more. Yeah, just got to go just game by game. And also, when you look at the table, I do accept it is. You can. I do agree with like only talk about say what you see. Catchphrase. Say what you see. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like as it stands with the points tallied, we're in the mix. We're where we want to be. We're competing. If it becomes something else where you're 6 points off that pack that we're in now, then again you talk about things more negatively, because you're not on track. You're not on track for where you need to be for what you want to achieve. I just think as long as we can stay on track for what we want, which is, I'm not saying it's like aim to just be only as good as the rest. Of course, you want there to be a position where you start to move away from them and get a bit of a gap between, you know what I mean, 5th and 4th and, you know, 5th and 6th to bridge your gaps and stuff. But right now, when the table clearly hasn't settled, we just have to be in and around it. You just have to keep being there. You're 2 points off third. Do you know what I mean? Like, you just got to keep up the points. Keep what you can do in this area of the table, which is good, is you can lose. You can lose here and there. You can. Everyone does.
Yeah.
Everyone in that group there has lost some games. Everybody's lost like 2 to 3 games in that cluster. Obviously, the further you go down, then you start seeing man losing 5 games, 6 games, and 7 respectively. But in this little patch, even Man City have lost 3 games. Do you know what I mean? So we're in and around it. We've lost 3, just like the rest. I mean, Liverpool have lost 5, but it's only because they got the first 6 wins.
Yeah,
they're where they are,
and that's what I mean about going on a run. If you go on a run and then your form dips off, you can still be in and around it.
You can survive. It's fine.
Run, you know what I mean? You had that good run.
Something to fall back on, as they say.
Yeah,
and I don't mind that at all.
Did you? This is a little bit of a sidetrack here. Did you see Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank's comments about Man United?
I did, and I also saw like a group of fans just in the studio on chairs. It was really, just didn't expect to see that Sky. It was really like they just got some chairs, right? You lot sit here, and Jimmy, you do that. Yeah, he was laughing. I thought, and do you know what? I'll be honest, yeah, Jimmy's actually all right. I don't mind Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank sometimes. I think he's actually all right pundit, but that one just felt so forced. Like that just thinks
for those who haven't seen what he said, so he was on Sky Sports, and they were talking about shock Man United, and he said, "I don't think they have improved. I'm sorry. Where have they improved? They have not scored more goals. They have not had less goals against. They have not won any trophies. Yes, they have been in a final in Europe, but lost against a poor side. Tottenham were a poor side last year. He has got a lot of work to do, a lot of work." He also said, I don't think they are creative enough, not like they used to be. And like you said, it felt very, and my probably words there don't really do it justice. When you watch it.
Yeah, he's laughing. He's like, where? You tell me where.
Yeah.
You tell me where they like giving it all this.
It felt really like just, again, forced. And you want to go, okay, Jimmy, like you're saying there, what's improved? I don't think they've improved. Where have they improved? Well, you would then immediately point to the table, wouldn't you? You go, well, we're better off than we have been under Ruben Amorim. You would then point to the recent form. You would go, well, haven't lost in 5 games. That is an improvement.
They've improved their form.
And
score more goals.
Your Chelsea team, that I'm sure you probably wouldn't say those things about, you know, we're 2 points behind them, and by the way, we beat them. And again, this is like the confusion with it. You can separate, like, there's improvement, but yeah, there's still a way to go. You know, again, this isn't a Premier League winning team. This isn't a team, like he says, there's a lot of work to do. Yeah, there's a lot of work to do, obviously. You know, as is evident, you watch us play, there's a lot of work to do. It's still not sometimes the prettiest on the eye. Still not going to be amazing. Also, you're not going to go from 15th to winning the Premier League or being this amazing, fully functioning side in the space of a couple of months, are you? So, yeah, there's a lot of work to do. But at the same time, when you're going to start talking about, where have they improved? Where have they improved? I think if you try and sort of what he's trying to sort of suggest there is basically there is no difference between the Manchester United team right now versus the Manchester United team under Ruben Amorim last season. And that is bullshit, isn't it? Like there is, it might not be as much as improvement as you want to see or as you expect there to be or you think there should be, but it is disingenuous to suggest that there is basically no difference between what Man United are doing now versus what they were doing, say, 6 months ago.
Yeah, it's lazy. It's lazy analysis. It's lazy analysis, like you say, disingenuous. And it's not factually true. Like if you just look, and it's just not, whether it's numbers or eye test. Again, I think when people think you're having to go at him, again, you don't need to push it too far to be like, well, we're completely fine now. We're such a good team. What has he taught?
Yeah, it's not that.
You're not saying that. But to say, he said there's not been one bit of improvement.
Yeah.
Can't say that. Can't say that. Even if you talk about mentality, like we always say, like Man United of a few months ago, lose and capitulate in them little draws that we've got. Like there's a little bit of belief in there. There's a little bit of resilience. They're going more direct. They're a little bit harder to play against now. They're not just a walkover.
We've got better players.
We've got better players because we bought Cunha and Mbumo and Lummans, like Francesca. Like, so there has been improvements in that area, and there clearly has been an improvement in results. Hence why we're in the chasing pack for Europe. We're not down there in 15th, cut adrift already because we're still just as bad as yesterday. And this is me saying it. Listen, I mean, I've been very negative of where we've been, but I say what I see. So I just think, and like I said, you have to kind of almost watch. The quotes don't do it justice. I think you have to don't watch it because you just get angry. But if you get what I mean, watch it. And he's just sort of asks the question and he just starts laughing. Improved. Throws the question back to the presenter. Improved where? You tell me where they've improved. Not in any position, in any place. So yes, he is right about things like they've still got work to do, or because it gets lost once you start off on that foot. It's like, I ain't listening to you.
Yeah.
He then does say things of like, yeah, that's true. You know, we're nowhere near where we want to be, and our manager says that. Again, our manager's coming out with some standards saying people think we're back. We ain't back. We're fucking miles off it. Do you know what I mean? But X, Y, Z. So yeah, I saw that and I just thought it's just so stupid. Like you can't do that. Just don't even get wound up by it, guys. You know what I mean? We know what it's like. Aminor says Marcel has publicly said he is now a solutions-based person. We need to protect this brother. People need to show respect to him and not be bullied. Oh, well, absolutely. Marcel should be protected. Marcel's not bullied. I think people just sometimes don't agree with him. But Marcel don't give a crap. He don't need to be protected. Yeah, he's fine in himself.
That's the thing with Marcel, Like, people sometimes will think of him like, oh, when you see him on these shows, whatever, what's he like in real life? There's no difference.
Exactly
there is no difference between us. And genuinely, if people want to talk like shit about him in comments or in the chat, he doesn't give a shit.
No.
If anything, it's actually quite inspiring someone that, you know, will just say how he feels, says what he wants. Won't ever hurt anyone, offend anyone, or anything like that. But just sticks to himself. You're never going to persuade him, sway him, or whatever. It doesn't bother him,
and he won't abuse you. He goes, "Well, that's understandable that you think that." But you know, respectfully, Owen, I disagree. We need to upregulate.
He doesn't call me Owen. He's usually Mr. Churchill or something like that. Oh yeah, okay, Marcel, you don't need to call me that.
Marcel is the best, man. Big up that guy.
Yeah.
Eyes peeled as well. In terms of Marcel and I, you know, soon come. Aminor says, Owen, can we win one game and keep a clean sheet?
We did against Sunderland.
Well, another one.
Yeah. Hopefully, my answer. Yeah,
I got a feeling we'll get a clean sheet against Everton.
I don't think it's going to be the result we had against Everton at home last year, which was 4-0.
What was that? Oh, 4-0. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 4-0, one of Ruben's first games. Probably not. Moise can drive a bit of a harder bargain than that. But like you said, away from home, for them, they're not great travelling. If it was at the Hills Dickinson Stadium, I'd be a little bit like, I don't know about that one. But hopefully, and to be fair, I want Lummers to get another clean sheet because in a couple of games recently, he has deserved it. You know, when we've conceded a few goals, I feel bad.
Yeah, late on you go, and he couldn't really do anything about any of the goals as well. No, and he still had to make saves too.
Yeah,
exactly. Super says, Amrim says, never know which United will show up. Yeah, that's still there. That's still there. I mean, the last five, we've got a better example of what might show up, but we are also seeing that they probably will still concede.
Do you know what?
They're going to have.
I do like.
We are seeing some patterns.
there was this thing, wasn't there, under
Going
Ten
1-0 up.
Hag, right towards the end of Ollie and in Ralph's era as well, where you felt like when we conceded, it was like, well, that's over now because we're not going to score. Like, what are we going to do? We're not going to come back. We never come back. What do we do now? It is nice to know. You're furious when we do collapse in these games, but it's not over. We do have that ability to come back and get a late goal, whether it is against Liverpool, whether it's against Brighton to kill the game off, whether it's against Spurs with 10 men, last corner of the game. It is nice to be able to believe until the final whistle, because previously I haven't been able to do that. If we've conceded goals, like actually in that Europa League final, once we went 1-0 down, I never really thought we were probably going to score. You know what I mean?
No,
just go,
it looked like we could have played. Well, we were saying that afterwards, we could have played a whole another 90 minutes. We wouldn't have scored.
Yeah, and we wouldn't have scored. Whereas, recent games, it is nice to know that, all right, if we have that slip up, there is, like you said, there's resilience in that team that maybe wasn't there previously. And that is positive.
Yeah, definitely. Super Arch says, our last 5 games of the season, Brentford home, Liverpool away. Must be home.
It must be home. Let's have a look.
Sunderland away. It must be home because we played them away already.
Yeah, at home. Yeah, last 5.
Okay.
Brentford
So
at
Brentford
home,
home,
Liverpool at home, Sunderland away, Forest at home, Brighton away.
These last 5 will be crucial, he says. Yeah, there's not a game week that goes by where I go, it's not crucial. They're just all, this next batch of 5 games is crucial. Whatever the 5 look, I don't know why we always do them in 5s because of the form thing, innit? It just always does last 5. Why don't they just do last 10, last 3, last 2? I don't know. But so we're all a bit conditioned with the last 5 thing or next 5 thing. But they're just all crucial, Super Arch. Like, there's not going to be a period of the season where we're good enough to be like, this group of games is kind of all right. We'll just take it or leave it. It's the next one we need to worry about. Nah, like, it's the season, innit? Want to win every single game like everybody else does. So, yeah, the running is the running. Like, who knows where we'll be? You never know. We could be 15 points clear of it.
That's what I was just about to say. That's a long time to those games. We might be in a position. I remember we're at the end of Eric's first season. Remember that when we were like 3rd and we had like a few games left, but we had started to fall off the cliff a little bit. Our performances weren't great.
And we were like, over the line.
I remember the discussion of, are we even going to get over the line? How are we going to win in these next like 3 or 4 games? And in the end, we did it fairly comfortably. But we might be in a similar situation here where we're like, look, these 5 games. Get some results.
Must win.
Champions League, mate.
Must win. Or like, remember that time when it was like, oh yeah, it was that. I remember we went to Brighton and lost, West Ham and lost, and I was like, we're going to bottle it. We're going to bottle top 4. I remember that. Luke Shaw last minute handball at Brighton. Remember?
Vividly.
Remember that? And I was outside the stadium going mad.
I remember you were Coach Cam's outside Old Trafford, and Coach Cam's, he was like, "No, we're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. We are not making top 4." And I remember at the time going, "We'll limp over that. We'll fall over the line. It won't be pretty." But
I can't remember the games that we had that made us win it.
We beat Bournemouth away, Casemiro in the highlighter kit. I remember that.
Oh yes,
we played Fulham at Old Trafford. That was the last game of the season, I think. When De Gea actually saved a penalty.
Oh yeah, from Mitrovic. Yeah, did we win that game? Was that a draw? Must have won it, innit?
Yeah, we won. Yeah.
There was 6 points.
Games like that. Yeah.
The West Ham one was the one where Cobby gave Willy Kambwala had to play.
I don't think that was that
Cobby
season.
Gave all the way.
That was
that
the
not the
season
first
before.
one?
Yeah, because Cobby didn't play until Ten Hag's second season, really.
Oh yeah.
Right. What would that be?
We went to West Ham.
23.
We went to West Ham and we lost like 2-0.
Towards the end of the season, right? This was it. This was it. So we
Brighton.
I tell you what. By the way, our form towards the end of that season was actually fucking
that's
great.
What I'm saying.
It's really good.
It was good.
So Flex, all right. I'm going to share my screen, right? I'm going to share my screen because
so much
I was not expecting. I was not expecting this. I was genuinely. Yeah. I was not expecting actually to be that good towards the end of the season. And let me get this up on the screen. Share screen with what you call it and the thingy. There you go. So it was only actually really that Brighton at West Ham game.
That was where I got scared. We won all the rest after that. Shit.
Won the rest. Wolves, Bournemouth,
Chelsea,
came on, Fulham. And actually, like again, you look before that, form's pretty good. form's pretty good, actually. Yeah. From like, I don't know, April onwards. After that
Ten Hag season,
game,
man.
Look at that.
Look at the average positions. 3rd, didn't go lower than 4th. Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at that. Fourth, it was fifth earlier on.
From the new year, once we got into January, we were never below
Never look
fourth.
back.
Never below fourth.
Would take that. Would bite your hand off for that now.
Yeah.
Oh my days.
Yeah.
Would bite your hand
Like
off.
this, you can and look, 7-0 rocked us. Definitely look, because after that, there's like 7-0, 2-0, and then after that, just run. Even
look
with
at that. Oh, Frank would have cut his hair. Oh no, there's a draw there.
Yeah. Well, even with this though, to be fair, they're 1-0s. You know what I mean? It's not the end of the world kind of thing. And then, bang! Look at that, just getting results, mate.
Yeah,
unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at these runs.
Jeez.
And that's what I'm talking about.
Go earlier in the season after the Brentford. So where's Brentford 4-0, and then that was it. We started from going good from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that.
And again, and maybe that goes to show, Flex. We've learnt from that. If you're in like the European spots around the turn of the year, so this sort of January moment, you can kind of just keep in and around pace. It. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
what we got to do, man. That's what we got to do. One game a week.
It's always with Europa League. Look back, isn't it? Because you forget. You know what I mean? It's always interesting to look back and stuff like that. Because I know. But
also the flip side to that, you do forget because we do so many games. You forget all these periods. But our flip side is that you did all that, and look, you still ended up getting to this point. Like it didn't. What does it mean? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Terence Pace says, I kind of appreciate Amram's honesty that we need to work harder and whatnot, as it makes the team fight harder. What I do not like is how the media is immediately hounding the team and some signings. Yeah, just Man United tax, innit? Man United tax. All Elite says, Marcel was irresponsible to plant seeds on how Sesko lacked mental toughness or commitment to play through an injury. Unnecessary and irresponsible. I mean, we all didn't agree with him with that one. We really, really didn't agree with him. That's his opinion. He just felt that he could have done more, but
in defense,
that's about right. All Elite as well. 63. I think that stadium does fit 60. London Stadium. Yeah. It's big. It's just far away from the pitch, but it's big.
Just far away from the pitch, And then the away fans, it's a horrible. But you have to say it's awful. Really far away.
Oh, awful. So crap.
But with Marcel, I think in defense of him, I'm not even sure he was properly articulating what he meant on Monday as well, because he kind of was like, I'm not saying he was faking it. I'm more saying mentality, but I'm not really saying mentality. You know what I mean? He was it was a bit all over the shop on Monday's one. But I don't think it's not like it faked it or anything like that. We got to get out of that.
Yeah, I don't think he faked it at all. And actually, Owen, we were, looking back at an interview that we can't really put it out, but I was in Ruben's interview afterwards, and when you see him speak about the injury, he said like he felt something. Actually, could we get it? I think he said this is what he said on that. Hold on a minute. Wait a minute.
Here we go.
A little bit of exclusive. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. It's there.
Ruben,
but
congratulations, I suppose, in a sense.
Oh,
because
it's there, but where is it?
In those circumstances,
can't see it.
Positive.
There you go.
What was your reaction?
There you go.
Hold on a minute.
Against Nottingham, but it's not enough.
Okay.
I just want to.
We have to check.
Benjamin Sesko. Tell us it's not that bad, the injury. What's the situation there?
I don't know. We have to check. He was kicking the ball and he touched the ground. So we are really concerned about him because we don't know. But again, I want to finish in a positive way. They are ready to cope. And when you pass something like last year with less players, with a lot of problems, you are ready for everything.
Okay, so he carries on talking about the team, but the Sesko bit, he's kicked the ground. And I'll leave you to he's kicked the ground, and he's felt something. Like it's not. Do you know what I mean? I think we have to come away from like, he just wanted to get out of there. He was just so angry, just that and the other, So. Yeah. I think we just have to wait and see. I think it'll be a Cunha vibe. I know his was a hamstring, wasn't it? But knees sometimes are a little bit. They might make it a little more time off to make sure, because knees are a bit worse. But I think it's obviously out of the international break because he hasn't gone with Slovenia. That's fine. 2 weeks. I don't think he'll be in the squad for Everton. And then I think he'll return to training that week and maybe get into the squad for West. Who's the next game? Palace.
Yeah, I mean, look, it might be one of
Yeah,
those
something
ones
like that.
whereby, you know, he's back in sort of December, you know, something like that, early December, you know, because it's we're sort of halfway through the month now, you know, talking about,
Yeah.
you know, a week or so, you know, it might be something like that. So he might be back for sort of early December along those periods of lines. And also with knees, you just got to be really careful, because sometimes I remember when Leacher hurt his knee against West Ham a few years ago, where we were like, oh my God, it looks like he's done his ACL. And then turned out it wasn't too bad, and he was back in sort of 6 weeks. So
Exactly.
sometimes you just don't know, do you?
You don't know, but they definitely don't want to take precautions with knees. That's the thing. Sorry, they do want to take precautions. You don't want, you don't. You do want to take extra precautions. What I meant to say. You want to like give it that extra, you know, I mean, attention and care and patience, because you have to triple check. Like, okay, I know you feel good, but let's just put that through its paces. Let's go on the grass first with some trainers. Let's see how you are. Then we'll do some individual. You know what I mean? They really are careful with knee injuries, because they're the ones that feel like they're not that significant and end up being really bad. Shit, actually, you actually need surgery, mate. Oh, best way. You know
he'll
what I mean?
be in. Well, yeah, just ask Malacia. God.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he'll be in quarantine every day. You know, he'll be in quarantine every day throughout this international break and doing his work. Flex. Feels like we talk about it all the time, but Cobby, this Cobby thing's still not going away. Fabrizio's really pushing it, actually, to be honest with you. Is it a Fabrizio thing or is it a Cobby thing? And doesn't it look wrong, him being in a Napoli shirt Flex?
It does. It does. Don't like that.
Fabrizio said that Cobby is on Napoli shortlist for January, or as Don Robbie would say, January, as they want to sign a midfielder. The possible move depends on Manchester United, who are still not willing to let him leave. Not willing to let him leave. He's not. Flex, I'm telling you now, mate, it's not going. He's not going.
Yeah.
Cobby's not going in January.
Yeah, because Man United still saying no. Simple as that.
They're still saying, and the only way I think I will sort of differ on that point is if we actually went and got a midfielder or a loan or something like that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think we let him go if we don't get like a Conor Gallagher on loan or some other João Gomez or something. I don't know. Something.
And actually, that Conor Gallagher thing, we kind of skipped over it a bit yesterday when we spoke about it. But did you see where they went, oh, well, Conor Gallagher could be one, but you'd have a buy option of £45 million. Sorry.
Yeah, just add that. But it's
45 million quid.
They just wouldn't take it.
Still.
Yeah.
45 million quid.
Yeah,
You're saying Conor Gallagher's worth that much?
How much did he go there? He went there for like 25, 30, I think, because he was that Samu was gonna go the other way and it nearly collapsed.
Well, he was stuck in like a Madrid hotel room for ages, wasn't he?
Yeah.
The transfer fee was reported by The Guardian to be in the region of £34 million. I'm not paying £45 million for Conor Gallagher.
So they want an extra 10 million when he hasn't got. I don't watch loads, but it doesn't have the feeling that he's got loads better. If anything, he looks like he's gone. I think he played a lot in the first year. This year, he hasn't played as much, and there's a bit out of favour.
And also, it's like, look, if he comes into United, he'll play. He would play games, and certainly it would be useful, wouldn't it? He'd be in the.
He's a better fit than Mainoo in this system.
What, to replace to make the sub for Casemiro during the game? He probably is, isn't he? You know,
he's
if you're taking
fit,
Casemiro
more mobile,
off,
but no thanks.
Yeah, £45 million. A loan, cool. I'm fine. You know, a loan, just so like when Casemiro does come off, like you say, you got someone that can come on that does what Ugarte does, but can maybe pass the ball a little bit better. Not that that's hard, but then I think there's a lot of players out there that can pass the ball better than Ugarte that don't cost you that.
Yeah,
amount
well,
of money.
we saw what was weird. Big up, Danny says it. We have Ugarte, Casemiro, Bruno, Mainoo. If any get injured, we only have 3 midfielders. We just saw at Spurs what happens if one of them gets injured. Cobby wasn't there. Not that he would have been first in line to come off the bench anyway.
I don't think he'd have got on the pitch.
He wouldn't have got on the pitch anyway. But just for just a numbers game, he would have turned to Ugarte in that moment. We know it. We were up against it. Spurs in the ascendancy away from home. There's no way he would bring on Cobby Mainoo to try and calm that game down. He just wouldn't do it. But all we had was Ugarte. So imagine if every single game that's all we have is Ugarte. Yeah. That's different to, you know. So I don't think we're trying to leave ourselves short.
that's an example of what would happen. Like, let's say we went, all right, Cobby, you go out on loan to Napoli in January, and we didn't bring in a midfielder. That's an
you can't
example
do
of
that.
what that's an example of what
That's
that
what
would
it
look
looks
like,
like.
wouldn't it? When
Oh,
we go, well,
Jesus.
it's Ugarte coming on every time, isn't it? It's Ugarte coming on for Casemiro.
Casemiro ain't playing 90 minutes in any of these games, and that's one game a week. Still can't play 90 minutes.
That's what it is.
That's mad.
But do you know what it is?
Why can't Casemiro play 90 minutes? By the way, he's got one game a week
because he puts in such a shift. Flags. Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on, because you know what, we laughed at Marcel. We said this is a 60-minute football player, guys. He asks to come off the pitch at 60 minutes, and we were like, "Come on, it's not as."
This is Cass in good shape as well. By the way,
this is the best. This is the best version of him. Is one game a week. Why can't he just play 90 every week? Because he just can't do
intensity, mate. Premier League.
And you bring on Ugarte, cold, no rhythm, doesn't do anything.
You know what? Yeah,
awful.
Ruben Amorim, though, I think would really like Conor Gallagher in the same way. You know that he really likes Mason Mount because Mount's coachable, follows
instructions. Yes,
it's the same. Conor Gallagher was the same at Chelsea in the sense of like they liked him. I remember when they were trying to sell Conor Gallagher, Poch kept playing him. Poch kept constantly put the captain's armband on him for a lot of the time, didn't he?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He really liked him. So I think I think Ruben would really like him because it felt a bit weird, didn't it? Because they were trying to sell him, and then he was playing a lot for Chelsea, and then Poch was putting the armband on him and stuff like that. And let's face it, if PSR rules weren't what they are when in regards to selling academy players, he'd probably still be at Chelsea at the moment. It's just because Chelsea do the thing every season, don't they? They got a fundraise, so you go through your squad and you go, right, which academy players can we sell? So it's a bit like that. But I think Ruben would really like Conor Gallagher. He'd probably end up playing more games than we think as well for us.
Yeah, I agree. Although we go, he hurts our eyes, this, that, and the other season. Let me go. So it weren't last season, not the season. It was 22-23 was his last season at Chelsea, isn't it? How many games did he play? Man played every game. Shit. 45 games. He started 35 games in the Premier League.
Poch loved him.
Yeah, starting 11, 18 times, but he played 35 times in the league. Loads of minutes. He was everywhere, but made 45 appearances in that season. His first season at Atletico, what did that look like? He played 50 games. Bloody hell. Played 50 games, 9 in the Champions League. How many did he start in the league? Started 19, so he started one more game than he did the year before at Chelsea. Substituted in 13 times. Playing loads of games. Champions Leagues. How many times did he started 4 times in Champions League, but played in 9. But played in 50 games. So he's played a whole lot of games last year. And this season, I think, is the one where he might be a bit surplus.
Made
16 appearances. Not bad. How many starts? He's only started twice. Yeah. You know what I mean? So he's not in favour. He's coming off the bench. There you go. Look, 20 minutes, 80 minutes in that game, 36, 11 minutes there, 45 minutes there. Champions League, he's played 90 once. It's a bit of a mixed bag, but his minutes are going down compared to the last 2 years. So, yeah, very interesting. How old is he? 25 now. He's prime. His prime. Yeah. He'll listen. I think Conor Gallagher is one of them players. You know what you're getting. He will just run around, get after people. I'm not gonna say a manager's dream, but like good person in the dressing room, train properly, bring intensity, bring standards, but he is limited in certain areas,
and it just feels weird, doesn't it? Being like, oh, we let go Cobby, made him on loan and brought in Conor Gallagher. You just feel like that should that ever be a thing?
You should hear that in a sentence. You shouldn't hear that in a sentence, bro. You shouldn't hear that ever be a thing. But profile-wise, they couldn't be further apart from each other. Yeah, that's where you have to look at the roles that they would play. And like people said in the chat, you said it. Ruben would prefer somebody more like Conor Gallagher in this team. And then you look at people like Anderson, that is a Gallagher that can play, essentially.
Well,
do you know what I mean?
Speaking of Elliot Anderson, Flex.
Yes, that's a good segue there.
Nice. Ben Jacobs said, this is quite interesting because this had been sort of put out there. Obviously, there's been so much discussion about how much it would possibly cost Man United to buy Elliot Anderson. But Ben Jacobs says it would be a whole lot cheaper than this 100 to 120 million being reported elsewhere. In the summer, there will be provisions within his contract deciding for a cheaper, although these are complicated and variable. So he's kind of alluding to a release clause or some kind of possible... out.
Here's one thing on this. I spoke to yesterday my my TalkSport correspondent. Shout out Max. He's the Forest guy and in the know at Forest. He done Gibbs White's first interview after the whole debacle about how it failed at Spurs and this, that, and the other. Max knows a lot, and he was saying that like obviously there was a hidden, like you say, Rich says Marinakis and hidden release clauses. We're not Tottenham. He had a hidden release clause. Morgan Gibbs White. Yeah. And because I was sort of saying, that's a bit stupid, isn't it? Like, if you have a release clause as a player, you don't really want it to be hidden because teams aren't going to know to be able to come in for you for said price. But essentially, you're saying that behind closed doors, gentleman's agreement, well, it's not gentleman, just written in, that if we won't tell people this is here, but if someone does sort of bid that, then obviously we got to let you go. But it's like a needle in a haystack because let's play roulette and say, let's think that Elliot Anderson has a hidden one as well. Must be about 64. Should we go 64?
How could it be hidden? Surely Elliot Anderson and his agent must know. They must.
No, they know. They know.
They signed the contract.
It's public. Yeah, no, they know. It's not publicized in terms of everybody knew we can get Mateus Cunha for £62.5 million.
Yeah,
this is just a public. He signed a new deal the other day, and then it made him stay for that.
But then it doesn't matter if we don't know, then does it? As long as Elliot Anderson and his agent go to these clubs and just go, look, by the way, this is what it would cost.
Exactly. But I think there might be something in it where you're not allowed to do that. There might be something in it that, like, do you know what I mean?
As long as there's no real trace of it.
But then there was some rumors. I'm not going to say the player who it was, but there was some rumors that another player, how it actually happened, another player's agent, no names, leaked that to Spurs, that there is one.
Right.
And then it all went from there. Then Marinakis has gone mad, and anyway, that's a different story.
Breach of confidentiality,
all of this stuff. So then he just
so
got off.
So how is that supposed to work then? So you've got a release clause, but you're not allowed to tell anyone your release clause because if you do, the release clause isn't valid. So how is the club meant to activate said release clause?
Exactly. It's a very silly thing. Like we were talking about yesterday, and going,
it's kind of pointless,
that's just
isn't it?
Stupid. It's pointless. Yeah. It's just. You're not, as a player, you're not protected against like, see, so if this money comes in for me, let me go, yeah? Well, yeah, we will if they guess.
That's not much of a release clause. It's more like the price is right, isn't it? How much do you think this player is worth?
If you're higher or lower.
If you go, I'm going to go with 70 million. You're spot on, right? You guessed correctly. You can have your player, with the really long microphone that they have, one of those. Bizarre.
It's stupid.
I mean,
but I do think, and talking to Max about it, he was like, I don't think it'd be 100 million. It'll be like, he's also saying he said that they're in a good spot because they amortize their players really well. So if it is 100, it'll be like over 6 years or some real big spread out add-ons, like 75 plus 20 in add-ons and something like that. I think it'll be something like that. Up front will still be around the fees that we like to pay, the 60s and essentially that. And then it might be hefty add-ons and stuff. But I don't think it'd be a straight give us 100 million now or we ain't going anywhere.
No, up front. Although I do have a... Do you worry about possibly doing business with Marinakis? Because that can be quite a volatile situation.
Yeah,
then again, look, Newcastle signed Anthony Elanga, no problem, isn't there?
That's what I'm saying. I think yeah and no. I think, and also what I was told is that Marinakis didn't believe Spurs to be one of the big six teams. He sees the big six teams as Arsenal, Liverpool, United, City, Chelsea. Am I missing one?
So I suppose you'll go get their captain. You're getting
their captain, and he was like, "Nah, you're like we've just finished 7th, so you're not even going to one of the big six."
And
so
sold
shutting that down. So it was all to do with that. But I think Elliot Anderson is a bit different. They bought him in from Newcastle for like what was it, like 20 million? I think.
It might be a bit more.
They spent 40 on Gibbs White.
Yeah, it was a lot of money. And also, this is also a player that I'm sure Newcastle are like, shit. you know, because they were effectively forced to sell him because of the PSR situation. It's when they signed the most expensive like backup goalkeeper ever in Vlachodimos. So they must, I don't know if they've got anything baked into it as well. Do they have like a buyback or, you know, I don't know, through that whole scenario. But yeah, I mean,
yeah, I understand Lil Yo-Yo. That if it was all because of PSI, otherwise it'd still be at Newcastle.
Yeah, 35 million Forest got him for.
There you go, 35 million.
And at the time, even that was like they're paying 35 million.
Hefty.
That's a lot of money because he hadn't played hardly any games. Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy. Now that looks like a bargain.
Yeah.
All elites. Oh, I read that one already. And Show says, "Why as a club have we become so obsessed with cardio midfielders? We cannot keep possession in midfield. Sign some actual technical midfielders." I do agree in terms of exactly. That's why he's got the bet, but they need to be able to run as well because Cobby is technical. Cobby can keep the ball really well, but if you're playing in a midfield too, you got to be able to shift in this manager's. There you go.
Graph up.
You love that graph, don't you? You love it. It's because he's so far.
Watching it.
So line breaking passes, he's played 12, and the possession 1. He's higher than everyone as well.
He wins the ball and plays the ball forward
more than anyone in the league. That's mad.
I've got into a bit of a bad
90 this season.
Yeah, I've got into a bit of a bad habit of this because also when we were doing the match view at the weekend, this one came up about Brian and Bumo. I had to screenshot.
Screenshot and everything. Most off the ball runs. Now, see, but I see because you know what? Runs. This is where stats are good though. Like I don't believe that stats are just pointless because sometimes stats can back up what you are seeing with your eyes. So with my eyes, I would have had him down as that because I'm like every time I see him, don't stop. Yeah, like sprinting. Remember I said like there was a thing off camera you wouldn't have seen it. He was sprinting back in, arms up, trying to get back in. Like he's just at it. So he's just raised our intensity by tenfold. And then you see that and you go, not making it up. Look, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so that coupled with the Elliot Anderson thing. Yeah. And then just go back to Elliot Anderson thing again. So far this season in 11 games.
It's the company. It's the company that
yeah, because look at the people that are in the middle. The people that are in the middle are all the good players. They're all the ones that are top players. I mean, Gamirez, Rice, Xhaka, Tillemans, Gravenberch, Caicedo, Zubamendi. These are all the players that you go, that's the pinnacle. That's where you want to be.
And you're looking at players like even in like the Pep teams, like Gonzalez is that replacement for Rodri, really, isn't it? When Rodri's been in and out. And that's their job is to like win the ball, play it forward. Win the ball, play it forward. And you know,
look at Tillemans. Tillemans has been out for ages and he's still that high up on it.
Yeah.
Because he's
and these are the types of players you think of as well when you go, we need that kind of player that wins it, plays it forward, gets things going, you know.
And he's by far exceeding all of them.
And he's far
in a team that lost their manager and is in the bottom 3 the whole time.
Yeah.
Let's be real. They've been in the bottom 3 the whole time. They're still in the bottom 3, aren't they?
Now you see why I had to screenshot. Now you see why I had to screenshot.
Yeah.
When I saw
that's relevant. That's a relevant stat.
I was like, that is good.
So if you're thinking Elliot Anderson, I don't know if this, that, you know, Casemiro is quite high up on there as well, mate.
He was in the middle. Because he's important for us, isn't he? You know what I mean?
He's right next to, he's just above the best midfielder in the league, apparently.
He's important for us, isn't he? You know what I mean? He's important for us. Yeah. And basically, what we're saying is, it's not exactly double, but Elliot Anderson is significantly better than that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Imagine kind of doubling. Imagine doubling that must be, the output.
Yeah, exactly. Doubling, exactly. That Fernandez is the is that the West Ham one? That's not our one because ours is with an S. That Fernandez is the West Ham one, no? Or is it Enzo? Has he even played that?
Probably Enzo. It's got to be Enzo Fernandez.
Actually, it can't be the West Ham one because he's been stepping.
Yeah, Enzo Fernandez, who's having a really good season this season as well, isn't he? Enzo Fernandez, he's really making them tick.
Yeah. There you go. Well, there you go. Yeah. Right. Is that everything? Yeah, that is everything. Right, guys. Big up to yourselves. Yeah, love a graph. We do have the Trafford Talk later on today. Make sure you guys check that out. And coming to you soon, we're going to put the flyer out, let you guys know what's going on. We will be having a stream, of course, to help back home in Jamaica. You can see it there. That's the DR one tomorrow. So I'll be on that alongside the guys you can see there on the screen. So that's the DR one. So make sure you guys lock in for that tomorrow for help for Hurricane Melissa and aid and relief to send some stuff there. I'll be dropping off some bits. White Yardie has gone and done a collaboration with, I think it's Jay and Money, and a patty company. But there's a big 40-foot container being filled up. I'm going down there on Sunday to drop off some stuff, like some hygiene stuff, some tin food, some baby stuff, etc. We're going to be doing that. I'll keep you guys posted on socials with that. And then in terms of here on United View, Monday evening, we will be doing our own extended live stream for the evening. There's going to be quizzes. There's going to be red carpet as well mixed in, and some FIFA as well, and just like a lot of vibes. So yes, people lock in, look out. We'll have the flyer coming out probably today with loads of different guests popping in as well. Shout out to Troops as well. I saw his stream, had a Bamiyang on there.
24 hours.
That was 24 hours. Amazing. Said I saw he raised 5K, which is wicked. Big up Troops and all the guys that were on that. Raising money.
He was like basically asleep.
Who was?
He was like late. He was like laying down
finished.
like that.
Yeah,
24 hours, man. It's tough.
24 hours, bro. That's a big. Yeah, I'm saying. So yeah, big up to Troops and the guys, and expressions on there cooking a Bamiyang. It was really funny, wicked stuff, man. It just shows you the power of what we're doing. So yeah, shout out to everyone who was involved in that stream. Like I said, the DR one is tomorrow. We're going to do ours on Monday as well. Everyone just doing their bit. And if you can, actually, what I do for the next batch of the shows coming up to the weekend, like I said, if you've got stuff you can send or you're around the South London area, there's a big container. I'll drop the info on that in the videos to come, where you guys can see, and check my socials as well, because it's all over that on my Instagram as well. To fill up some barrels and fill up some containers to send back home as well. So yeah, we're going to do our bit, man. Do a Marvel quiz, given your extensive knowledge on the subject. Whatever the quiz is, I will take part. You know what I'm saying? I will take part, of course. Big up to each and every single one of you guys.
Quizzes isn't great. Records in the quizzes not great.
Exactly. Will super chats made go to aid? Absolutely. We're going to have a GoFundMe link, and we'll set up the super chat so that they also go to the aid as well. Yeah. A fundraiser one, yes. And none of the super chats will be going to UV. Anything donated, of course, without a doubt, will be going straight to the cause. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, we'll have all the info on that very, very shortly, guys. So look out for that. All right, people. See you later. We will see you later on, man. Take care. Big up. Peace.